Hey y'all, the number one question I'm asked by people all the time is, how do I know if my team's really agile? And if you go out on the internet, there's so much noise and so many people debating and arguing about it. But really knowing whether a team or a company is truly agile is really simple. By the end of this video, I want you to be able to go into an interview and be able to ask just a couple questions to know, is this team I'm about to join really agile? Also to be able to call BS on an agile coach your company may have brought in if they don't really understand the heart of it. And lastly, just so that you can help the teams you work on and the people that work together to build software to do it really with a true agile intent. Over 20 years ago, there were a group of guys that got together and came up with the Agile Manifesto. I'm sure you've heard of this before. And really, it's just a document that a group of software developers put together to try to improve the way people work together. But some people argue and look at the Agile Manifesto and try to understand, is this really valuable? Does this really matter? And so I want to ask a critical question about the manifesto and one point in it that I think will help you understand the real meat of what agility really means. There's a statement in the Agile Manifesto which is meant to be a principle that your team follows that helps them stay on track to really avoid the noise and just make sure they're really providing something that's actually helping people. And that statement is that the team will continuously deliver value. The question that begs to be asked here, and I don't think enough people are really asking it, is why continuously deliver value? Now, everybody knows if I get an app, let's say, installed on my phone, it looks better to people if there's updates all the time, but that's really kind of missing the point. Before agile development methods were available, the way most software projects moved forward was a company would budget a whole bunch of money to build a software product. They would get together with product owners or user experience people and try to understand what their customer wants, then try to figure out, can we afford building them everything they want? Unfortunately, by the time the project was done, it wasn't what customers wanted anymore because they were taking too long to deliver it to them. And to add insult to injury, there were things that customers wanted, but they didn't know that they wanted when they were first interviewed or talked to by the software development team. You've already heard of this concept of a minimum viable product, and that's really when a company has a vision for a software product, but they can't afford it, so they build a little slice of it to try to get something out there. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is a product doesn't actually become viable until customers have used it and then said, you know what? We don't like some things about the product. We want you to change and improve some things about the product. And that actually doesn't happen during the design of an MVP or a minimal product. It happens after you release that product to them. And I work with, unfortunately, so many teams that don't really understand this important lesson. So they work so hard and they follow Scrum or Kanban or continuous delivery or DevOps, and they have all this technology and process that they use, but at the end of the day, they're not really set up to actually take feedback from customers and act on it right away. So there's two simple questions you can ask anybody and you'll find out right away, are they really agile or is it a fake agile team that has all the agile trimmings, but they kind of miss the point? The first question is, how does the team gather feedback? I think why this is so important is many more immature software teams, when you ask them this question, they'll say, oh, well, we have a forum where customers can come give us feature requests and we look at it once every 3 months. What you're looking for instead is a team that says, every time we do a release, we gather feedback by directly reaching out to our beta testers or our customers, and then we figure out how to incorporate that feedback. And hopefully it should be within, let's say, a 2-week period or a month-long maybe period. But it's the teams that look at feedback as an exception and as something that's not very valuable, I think, that miss the point of what it really takes to be agile. The second question you can ask that'll immediately tell you if the team you're about to join, the coach you're working with, or your company is really agile is, how much has the team budgeted on that project to accommodate customer feedback? In other words, how much of the money that the company's spending on building that software product or solution is reserved to build things that we don't know as a team about yet. Sometimes when I've asked this question of teams when I first got to know them, they look at me like I'm from Mars. Why would we possibly budget for feedback? And that is a clear sign that the team you're about to join is not truly agile. So that's it. Ask those two questions and you'll know by the answers very quickly if the team you're about to join or the people you're dealing with really are agile or not. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about the reasons why this is the case and some of the ways I came to these conclusions, you can go back and watch a video I did on agile budgeting. I'll include a link in the description. And one of the things that inevitably happens on every team that tries to be truly agile in the way I'm talking about is it creates fear and anxiety for a lot of people. Because if you think about it, if the team is going to do some work and know that what they release to their customer might not like, and what the customer wants is actually unpredictable, and they may get feedback that's way out of left field, people who are used to working in a culture and in an environment where everybody tries to predict the future and think they can know ahead of time everything customers want, they get really stressed out. They have a really hard time dealing with that. So if you like this video, find somebody else you know who could really benefit from being able to spot fake agile, and you can visit my YouTube channel, Healthy Software Developer, where I have over 80 videos to help people work together better, deal with uncertainty and complexity, and just get back to building great software products. Thanks.